Just when you think games couldn't get here any quicker, there we go. An FA Cup game coming up. Looking forward to it. We've got Norwich City in the FA Cup. And here is the Manchester United preview. Things might be changing. And let's see if we can still beat Norwich. Let's do it. What's up, everybody? It's Aidan Sports Show and welcome back to another video. This is going to be a Manchester United match preview for the FA Cup game against Norwich City. Now, Manchester United are on an absolute positive stream roll through the entire lockdown period, and even till now, we have been on a positive high for a very, very long time, and Norwich City is going to be the next game where we can see if the positivity is going to continue or will we fall out of the FA Cup. There's going to be some big, interesting changes. Ollie said that there's going to be changes. Obviously, 2 games a week, or at least in this period this week, you might need to use a little bit of your squad. So, before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Aidan Sports Show YouTube channel. Turn notifications on and let me know in the comments the match prediction, the score. Who do you think is going to win this game and by how much? I'd really love to know what you guys think. I will give what I think at the very end of this video. Also turn notifications on, share the video and the playlist with your friends. The goal is 75 subscribers, and it's a big ask, but it can be done. So without further ado, let's get into it. Manchester United have been known to beat Norwich very comfortably this season. It's happened twice in the Premier League, and it looks like this could potentially be another case of Norwich just being very, very undervalued and under depth. They don't have enough quality, and Manchester United could absolutely dominate this game. But Ollie has said that there are many changes that Manchester United could be facing during this game. We need to use our squad. We've got a very tough game against Brighton, I believe, after Norwich, which in the end is going to take the priority. Whether you like it or not, Manchester United have to focus on the Premier League during this time. So the squad changes for Manchester United could be a downfall, but honestly, even with the squad changes, I feel like the quality of Manchester United is just leaps and bounds ahead of Norwich. Even with the multiple changes we're probably going to make, I feel like we're going to have enough to deal with Norwich. It's no disrespect towards their team. I think they all know. Norwich knows they might play the right kind of football. I've said it many times. I love the way Norwich play football, but they don't have the players to play the way that they do, and it costs them on multiple occasions. So it's going to take time for Norwich. And unfortunately, this season, FA Cup is probably not going to be a huge priority for them because they have to try and fight out of relegation. But either way, it doesn't look like that they're going to get much out of this game either. So whether you like it or not, it's going to be, I think, a relatively comfortable win for Manchester United. Also, I have to mention Liverpool here. I can't not mention Liverpool. They've won the Premier League over the weekend.
Of all nights, this just happened to me tonight. Why? Why?
Okay. Okay.
Or in their last game, and again, man, like, this is just a situation where it doesn't feel good, does it? I don't think, even if you're not a Manchester United fan, any fan in the Premier League did not really want to see Liverpool win, except for Liverpool fans, of course. They've been waiting so long. I'm not going to make any excuses. I'm not going to go and cry about this result. At the end of the day, we've all known this has been coming for a long time. The only thing I can really say is congratulations to Liverpool. And it was a very hard-fought title to win. A lot of people are going to be saying that there's an asterisk, or it's just not the right. Their title came at an excuse, at a bad advantage point, whatever you want to call it. Look, man, I think since December, Liverpool are basically runaways for this Premiership title. And if you guys keep making excuses for us being bad, then we're going to keep being bad. Don't make any excuses. Accept the fate that we've been given. We've allowed Liverpool to win the Premiership. We've allowed Liverpool to become the best team in England. Now we need to focus on next season. Let them have their fun. Next season, we're going to have to try and see if we can find a way to stop that train. And if we can, then we will have the bragging rights in the end. But if not, then Liverpool for now, and for at least for the certain period of time, they're going to have their bragging rights, and we're going to have to accept it as fans. But that does not mean that we want to be mediocre. Next season is a big opportunity for Manchester United to actually see if they can come in anywhere near the title race and actually stop Liverpool from winning it, man. No one likes to see Liverpool win the Premier League, but it's happened now, and we, as much as I say we have to accept it, we accept this one. We don't accept it all the time. We don't accept it next season. It's a guarantee shoe-in that we're not going to win it, and Liverpool are. We have to find ways for Manchester United to come close to the title and just stop this. It's as simple as that, really. Anyway, going into this game more specifically, going into the starting 11 predictions. Now, Manchester United are probably going to make a lot of changes, and I feel like a lot of changes are necessary just to keep the squad fit, healthy, ready to go, everybody being involved and active. It's a simple thing, really. So, going in to the goalkeeper, I think Sergio Romero is going to play goalkeeper this game. Now, a lot of people say that Sergio Romero against Premier League opposition is not the greatest thing, but I think it's time to see what Sergio Romero really has. Apparently in training, he's been phenomenal. He's worked very hard, and a lot of people actually want him to play this game. I feel like Ollie's been listening to the fans a lot recently, so why not put him in the game? Why not let him see what he can do? Give him some game time. He hasn't played in a long time. And I feel like David De Gea doesn't need to play this game, to be honest. I feel like he can rest, have it easy, have a day off, maybe go back into training, whatever the case may be for David De Gea. I don't think he needs to play this game. I feel like we'll be very comfortable without him, to be honest. But we'll see. At the end of the day, only time's going to tell. De Gea could well and truly start this game. I wouldn't have a problem with anybody really starting this game. Could be Pereira, for all we know, the goalkeeper, Joel Pereira. Doesn't matter, man. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter who starts this game for me. Going into the right back position, this is a tough one because I haven't seen Diogo Dalot in a match fixture since the lockdown period ended. In the first 2 games, he hasn't been starting or on the bench, so I don't know where he is. But just for the sake of giving Wan-Bissaka a rest, because he probably needs it too, I'm going to pick Diogo Dalot here. Again, he's potentially a player that could be caught out on a counter-attack because he loves to attack. And we still don't know if he's actually a right back or a right winger. But people actually want Diogo Dalot to get sold. And I think you need to think of there's at least 10 Manchester United players that you should consider either selling or loaning out before you even think about Diogo Dalot, in my opinion. There's a lot of problems. Diogo Dalot is not one of them. The guy's 20 years of age. He was coming into Manchester United as the future right back of Manchester United, as the future Portuguese best right back that they've ever had. All these things, man. So I think we need to settle down on the let's sell Diogo Dalot bandwagon. I don't think it's necessary, and I don't think it's the right thing to be focusing on, especially coming into this transfer window. Let's let him play here. Let's see what he's got, man. The guy hasn't played in a while. I think he scored a goal this season, but that doesn't mean anything to me. But anyway, moving on to the centre-back positions. Obviously, the first centre-back I'm going to pick is Eric Bailly, who has not played since the lockdown period has ended. Lindelof has decided Lindelof and Maguire are the 2 that have been picked majority of the times, all the time, and Eric Bailly has sat on the bench. Not the case this time. I 100% in my soul believe Eric Bailly is going to start this game. Mainly because he needs to, man. The guy has been phenomenal before lockdown, and he needs to stay ready because anything can happen during this period of time. We're going to pick our same starting 11, then the people on the bench are not going to be ready when it's their time to be called, when it's their name that's going to be on the starting sheet. It's going to be difficult for them to adjust. So everybody needs to have a little bit of playing time here. And that's why I think Eric Bailly is going to start. I don't see another option out there. If you're going to pick Victor Lindelof, I think it's a big mistake. Not because he's not a good option. I think Victor Lindelof is a great centre-back, but he's played already. He already has the momentum. I feel like Eric Bailly needs that. Going into the other centre-back position, and as much as I talk about having different people, I'm going to pick Harry Maguire here. The reason why is I don't think we have another centre-back. Tuanzebe is still rumoured to be injured, so if that's the case, he can't play. Maybe you could play Victor Lindelof there, but I feel like we need a left-sided centre-back, and Maguire is actually the best one that we have, so why not play him there? The guy never rests anyway. He plays every game, so I very much doubt Ollie's going to pick elsewhere. I think Harry Maguire is the way to go for Norwich City, at least. and apparently he has a high pain threshold and everything, so he should be fine to play every single game for the rest of the season. I'm not sure. We'll see how things go. Going into the left back position, I've gone for Brandon Williams. Same reason I picked Diogo Dalot, same reason I picked Eric Barley. Brandon Williams needs to play, especially as a young lad. If you leave him out for multiple games on end, it might be a little bit difficult for him to try and make a statement when he does come and play. So we could see Brandon Williams not have a good game here, but we can also see him be that player that's pushing Luke Shaw, making Luke Shaw better. And we could see that player that is still knocking on the door for that starting left back position. And for me, that's the perfect situation to have. Two left backs fighting tooth and nail. Yes, there's competition there, but they're both fighting for the same purpose of getting that starting spot and to make Manchester United better. That's a perfect scenario, and I can't wait. I hope Brandon Williams has a fantastic game. I truly believe he's going to start. If not, then Luke Shaw starts. Same thing with Harry Maguire. If Luke Shaw's going to start, he's going to start. Nothing I can do about it. I'm not going to be too upset about that, but I think Brandon Williams needs to start here. Now, going into the CDMs or the centre mids, depending on the formation, it's either going to be, in my opinion, a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1. And look, at the end of the day, we played a 4-3-3 last week. And are we going to play it again? I think we're going to play it again, but I still think we're going to have a similar type of tactics with the players that are being put in, because they're not necessarily centre mids. They usually have played CDMs the entire year, but I feel like they're going to be a little bit pushed up forward. So obviously the CDM that's going to be holding, in my opinion, is Scott McTominay. I'm going to pick Scott McTominay here. He didn't get a start last week. He's going to get a start here, I truly believe. And a lot of people want Scott McTominay to be our starting CDM. A lot of people want him to develop into the Matic type player, the holding midfielder that runs from the back to the front, that actually can intercept the play, quick ball movement. I think Scott McTominay in a lot of ways can definitely become that player, because we already see he's a fantastic passer of the ball. He really is. He does the basic passes, he does the simple passes, but he can also create from the back. And at the end of the day, Scott McTominay, I think if he could break up the play a little bit more, he's already good at tackling, standing tackles, but he doesn't intercept the play as much as we'd like, to be honest. And that's why Matic is considered better than him at this time. But over the years, maybe Scott McTominay can adapt to that player. I think if we give him more time, being that main holding CDM, he's going to develop there. So why not put him here against Norwich, see what happens, see if the cookie crumbles, or see if we've actually developed something very, very special. Moving on, I'm also going to pick Fred here. I feel like Fred's going to be more attacking wise as well. The end of the day, I just feel like Fred is a must play, because he needs to stay sharp as well. We have incredible bench options now in the midfield. With Pogba coming back, Matic holding, all of a sudden the two centre mids that we were crying about starting on a consistent basis in Fred and McTominay are ending up wanting and being on the bench. And I think everybody's happy with our midfield situation at this time. We do need another midfielder, but at the end of the day, during this period, with McTominay and Fred as your bench players, I feel like that's a fantastic way of showing that Manchester United have quality in the midfield. And I feel like Fred needs to play here, and I think he is going to play here. I think he's going to do extremely well as well. Everybody knocks on Fred because he had one bad game coming back, but people forget the 4, 5, 6 months he had amazing football. So it's easy to forget when you're living in the now, but it's you have to remember everything else that's happened. Going into the cam, I actually don't think the cam's going to change. I'm picking Bruno Fernandes purely because ever since he's come in, we've changed. And I feel like if you're going to put a Jesse Lingard or an Andreas Pereira in there, we're giving Norwich too much of an opportunity to go and win the game. And I don't think that's necessary. I think it's a must that we actually put Bruno here, just so we can have that exact same mentality going forward and going back as well. If we can't give them too many chances. I think Jesse Lingard is going to have a big impact on this game as well, off the bench. Just a little bit of a hunch there. We haven't seen him for a while, but I think he's going to come in off the bench and maybe he can create something there. But Bruno, in my opinion, is a must for this game. He's a must for pretty much every game to come, and I hope he's fit enough, because we're going to need him through this stretch. We have to win games, and Bruno is definitely a winner, so why not put him in? Next up, for the wingers. Difficult, this one. Very, very difficult, but I'm going to go and pick Daniel James on the right. Simple. He didn't play last week. I think Mason Greenwood played very well at the right wing, but I have a special spot for him in mind. Maybe he might have a little bit of a situation where he doesn't play, but in my mind, I think both Daniel James and Mason Greenwood will play. But on the right wing, actually, yeah, on the right wing, Daniel James. That's I'm just going to leave it at that. In my opinion, he's a shoo-in for this game. Not playing on the weekends, playing a little bit. It's definitely a good way to rotate the squad and to give Daniel James an opportunity to make his claim at the right wing position for now, and also keep him on his toes for any time that we may need him. Left wing, I'm going to pick Mason Greenwood. That's the reason why Daniel James is playing on the right, because I think Mason Greenwood is going to play on the left. A lot of people could say Chong. A lot of people might have to pick somebody else. But I think Mason Greenwood can absolutely dominate Norwich. 100% in my soul, I believe that. And I think maybe people are thinking I'm making too many changes. And that might be right. Maybe Rashford plays. Maybe Martial plays. But why not make these changes, man? We have to focus on the Premier League at the end of the day, and Norwich is not that big of a threat to us. I mean, I don't want to be disrespectful. Maybe Norwich comes and surprises us, and I looks foolish, but I feel like the changes need to be made. We need to keep the squad ready to go at all times, and if we have an opportunity to rest players, we need to do it. And I think Rashford definitely needs a rest because he's just come back. And yeah, I hope that's the case. And obviously striker, I'm not picking Martial. Maybe I should, because at the end of the day, this guy just got a hat-trick last game. So why not put him in Norwich and see if he can get another one? Why not, man? You know what? I still want Harry Maguire to get a hat-trick, man. I'm not going to stop until it happens. Anyway, I'm picking Ighalo at striker. He hasn't played much, if anything at all. We all want him to break that Premier League striking goal. He hasn't actually scored a goal in the Premier League yet, but in every other competition that he's played in, he has. And I think the FA Cup will be no different. I see Ighalo scoring. He's a very natural striker. He's always in the box. He's always making the right moves, the right plays. And I feel like we're going to, with Diogo Dalot and Brandon Williams often likes to cut in, so that's going to be a bit of a situation there. But Diogo Dalot is a very good crosser of the ball, and we might end up getting a goal out of that. We'll see at the end of the day. It's not going to be an easy game for Manchester United with all these changes, but I do think it's going to be a relatively comfortable win. I do think Norwich is going to be left extremely open. Inexperienced centre-backs, full-backs like to push forward, so as a counter-attacking team at heart, we can go and attack Norwich from the counter-attack, and we can honestly decimate them to pieces. That's what I believe at the end of the day. That's the starting 11 that I'm going to pick. 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1. Either way, the players stay the same. And I'm going to say we're playing a 4-3-3 formation just because it's a little bit more attacking. Now, who do I think is going to win this game? It's clear, I've said it many times in this video, Manchester United are going to win this game. I'm going to pick a 3-0 victory for Manchester United. Norwich can score. I won't be opposed if Norwich does score, but I feel like Manchester United will have an open field day with Norwich. I feel like we can chill a little bit, have a little bit of rotation. Maybe this is going to be a fun game to watch, or maybe Norwich is going to come in and absolutely stun us. I don't know. But Manchester United, in my opinion, are truly 100% favourites to win this game, and I think 3-0 is definitely the way to go. So, what do you guys think? Do you think we can score 4 or 5, maybe even 6? Or do you think that it might be a little bit more tight? Maybe Norwich are going to try and park the bus on us? Whatever it is, guys, let me know in the comments below. What do you think the score is going to be? Who's going to win? And if you want, it might be a little bit of trouble, so I don't expect anybody to do this. But if you guys want, name your starting 11 and why. That's the goal for this video. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new to the Aidan Sports Show YouTube channel. And have a wonderful day, guys. It's only a few hours away. Let's see if we can get this dub. Take care.